Welcome to PLZ Soccer's Football Podcast. I'm Peter Martin, delighted that you could join us. And in the studio, I am absolutely delighted with our lineup, Roughie, because not only do we have Tam here alongside us, but we have one of the finest midfielders of his generation. Is that fair, Ian Durrant?
Yeah, well, I have to say so. Yeah, and obviously we all know about Durrant's injury, but if that hadn't happened, wow. You know, I think we'd had maybe nearly, am I touching it, maybe world class, nearly on that borderline.
Yeah, well, he wanted to forget about his injury, but you've brought it up in the first 35 seconds. That's great.
I'm just saying what I'm saying.
It's not a fine putting the small print in. If I hadn't been a fat, specky bastard, I could have been a great player as well.
Exactly, Roughie. How to make everybody feel welcome. Do you know who you remind me of? You remind me of Uncle Buck when he goes in to see the teacher and she's got a big mole in her chin. When you just keep going, moly. I mean, unbelievable. Durant, welcome to the programme. We've had a good few on there who've been able to put it about, wee bit of skill, some good finishers as well. So great to have you with us. How do you feel when you hear somebody talk about that? I mean, I was at a dinner with you, only a week ago, and everybody talks about greatness, and then it could have been unbelievable greatness.
It could have been, but that's now your life's mapped to it now. Thanks, Roughie, for the knee now. But but see, it's funny, Peter, because everybody seems to remember your knee injury. Nobody seems to remember now your comeback, and you play about 200 odd games after your comeback, and you're winning so many games, getting caps for Scotland. But it just now, it's a stigma I've got, and that's what it is now. I'll be well renowned for this knee injury. That's just.
And I think people will forget, and as a fan of a wee diddy club myself, there'll be Kilmarnock fans screaming at the lot of you the day for saying, well, what about when he was at Kilmarnock with Coisty and the brilliant career that they had there, packing out Rugby Park and having a rare time at dinner.
No, over 110 games for Kilmarnock, Tom. It was great. But again, it's just this thing happened. Yeah. And it's not nothing you can go back on now. That's what it happened. Could have been what should have been. That's the question.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I always admire your attitude to it, because that's how I actually mentioned you at the dinner. I wouldn't like to talk. I don't want to talk about, what people define you by. I'd rather talk about my perception of you as a midfielder, which I think is possibly the best way to look at it. And my memories of you are with that mad Buffon hairstyle when you scored at Hampden in the cup final.
The beehive and tap a beehive.
That's exactly it. And then you're running away. I think you actually had the number 10 shirt on that day.
I wore number 10, but I had a horrendous hairdo at the time I had this massive mop of curls, and I was about 8 stone. I had to run about in the shower to get wet that time. But see, when you look back at some of your old photos, what was I doing?
The strangest fashion thing that Ian Durrant ever had, and he can pick me up here if I'm wrong, were the glasses when you didn't need to wear glasses. Am I right?
No, that was just I was promoting my pal's new eyewear then, and it was actually, I was injured at the time and I was sitting in the dugout, and funny she'd pick on that, but that was it. I was just trying to promote it, but never came to much, so I never made any money.
So did they have actual lenses in, or was it just
plain glass?
Plain glass lenses, aye. But they look pretty neat,
If it's any consolation, he's now hitting 50 and he needs the glasses that he brought with him. So
we see Ali McCoy's for that now, with almost the Larry Grayson ones for the generation game with the chain on them. Exactly. Putting them up and down. No, it doesn't half age you.
And his haircut of late, have you seen it?
I didn't think he had hair now.
He's went for the bowling ball, Tommy.
Right.
I've just seen a picture of it. He doesn't suit a number 1 into the scalp.
No danger. There is some. If I get number 1, Roughie, I'd just get absolute
ages since I've had a number 1 to the scalp.
I'd get pelters. And of course, there's no point in talking about hair with you, because you still maintain your Chris Waddle Diamond Lights mullet.
Yeah, I actually went into the hairdresser before I got here. I'm thinking it's too long at the back.
Are you going to get a cut?
I'll get a
short.
Cut
if you get rid of that mullet, Roughie, people will have to be informed. We were talking about the early part of Ian Durrant. Is it a time when you were breaking in there that everybody there was a real buzz about you before you even get in the team? I remember, everybody talking about, they've got this youngster, he's going to be absolutely sensational. Were you overawed when you got into the Rangers team?
No, it was just you were given a chance, and obviously where I came from, I was a wee bit gallus.
Yeah.
Just now you took it. At the time it was great for me, because Derek Ferguson and Robert Fleck and Hugh Burns had broke in as well. So there wasn't as though just now one youngster got into the team. There was 4 who's broke into the team under restraints, under Big Jock, and he had no money to spend at the time, obviously with the stadium. And it gave us a chance, but you went in and Big Jock now just threatened you. If you don't take your chance, then you'll not get it. So you went in, and unfortunately enough, now I clicked. Now I didn't think for a minute I was a Jock Wallace player. He said I was 8 stone. Now Big Jock like people could run through now the wall behind me. Big aggressive player, but I got a chance. Then it flourished. Unfortunately, the big man lost his job. Then Souness came in and again took a liking to me, and again so it was just a kick on. Just make sure now when. I felt sorry for Big Job, but when you get a chance, when you're reading the papers and then all of a sudden you're hearing Graeme Souness is coming, well, you want to be part of that, so you just want to make sure you're in the team.
How great did that feel? Peter was saying a few weeks ago, mind you were talking up the fact that Ryan Jack, who had been lauded by Steven Gerrard, and you're saying it did bring out the best in him. His first game after those kind words for his manager was against Ross County, and he was excellent. That must have felt great by the same token. You know, Ryan Jack's getting talked up by one of the greatest midfielders of his generation. And if Souness talking you up, you must have got a wee glow.
Right, now as I said to him, but also a great help for me and Derek was Davie Cooper. Now selling all along with, but he was great. See, for kids coming into the team, now Coop was just now, and that was another boost. Now walking out a tunnel, now Davie Cooper's in front of you. Now it's inspiring, and he's remember the one in the first few games I played, and Coop just turned around, don't be afraid to make mistakes, son. Now we all make mistakes, and you're now sort of now going, well, if you can make mistakes, now it's good for us, and it just gave you a boost to go out and express yourself. I used to make runs in it, and Coop would put it on a sixpence. Now these terms of passing, and just the thought now, Graeme Souness, McCoy's, Cooper, now you get Butcher, Woods, now all that influx of players coming in. It made you more determined to play.
Yeah, you've got a great story about Souness, though, haven't you? In the early days when he came in, did you not wind him up? was there not a wee tete-a-tete that you two had?
No, he knocked me out. No, Souness had this England-Scotland game, and Souness being Souness now, he was good, but he had this wee bit of arrogance about him now, and he said, well, I'm going to play for England because I've had the majority of my career down here, right? So we took a wee bit of humble for that now. Okay, so usual, the jocks are bartering him, and we're sort of taking the piss, and he didn't like it, so he come flying in, as he does. Now he wanted to put his mark down, and I nutmegged him and gave a wee daft childish laugh. Unbeknown to me, he's turned round quick, and this right hook, Roughie probably seen it with the Scotland, and he's planted me on the chin. So I'm going down, thinking what's happening next. I sort of get back up, and I said, now you know what it's like when you're a daft boy. I said, is that your best? So 15 minutes later I woke up in the dressing room not knowing what had happened, so I think I took his best the second one.
Moments like that, Roughie, it can either make you or break you, though, can't you? I mean, I think sometimes if somebody puts in a tackle or shows a wee bit of callousness like that, I always associate you with callousness. That's the bit that people think I'll have him.
Yeah, that was my favourite Souness one when we were playing Wales with Jock Stein, and Souness and Terry Urath hated each other, absolutely hated each other, and we're all lined up to go out onto the park, and Jock Stein says to Graeme, oh Graeme, that boy Urath, you don't really go on with him, do you? And he went, oh, no, not particularly, no. He says, well, he's one of their better players. If he plays, they play. He says, so just take him out. And Graeme turned round and he went, what, the night or forever?
It was incredible.
Yeah.
And this was on a Friday before now the Saturday game, and it was carnage.
Yeah.
But that's what he said now. He always maintained, if you're going to be successful, and Rangers had to be successful, now we're chasing Celtic, we had to train the way we played.
Yeah.
And that's what he installed in us.
Yeah, I think Bomber Brown got his move to Rangers because he absolutely cemented Graeme.
Remember Dundee, Bomber put him on his arse twice. And again, he liked what he seen in Bomber, and there was a thing Bomber now had failed a medical at Hearts, but Bomber says now never really happened, and then the next minute Bomber's playing so many games and winning so many medals for Rangers.
Yeah, I thought he was a better player than he was given credit for. What were you going to say?
I remember saying to John Brown when we had him on the radio a few years ago, you ask any Motherwell fan, and a lot of them absolutely hate Bomber Brown for one instant and one instant alone. Motherwell were playing Rangers, I think it was a midweek game, up at Fir Park, and I can't even recall how the game was going, what the score was or anything, but John Brown had the ball in kind of the left back area, and when he was looking to usher it out for a shy, that was his only option. He absolutely hammered it, right, and it was straight into the Motherwell end, and it hit some poor kid in the mush, you know what I mean, and carnage, you know, everybody getting off their nut, ambulances in and everything. So many years later, and the first time I had John Brown on off the ball was, I says, John, let me take you back to a wee instant and blah blah blah, and I'm trying to make it all nice and easy, you know, and I said, in that time you blasted the ball into the Motherwell fan. I said, you didn't mean that though, did you? And he went, aye. Alright, fair enough.
Never want to back up.
Oh, it's black or white with Bomber.
But Tim, you're talking about two of the names that Ian mentioned there. Because we're in the run up to Christmas, he was mentioning big hard men there like Jock Wallace and Graeme Souness. I've seen, you know, or at least heard the two of them in a different light, just for a wee bit of niceness when we're on the way up to Christmas. Graeme Souness, who I told you before, back in March when we had him booked for the St Andrews Hospice Sportsman's Night, absolutely magnificent. Did a Q&A with him, and Ian, you'll know what I mean by this. You could have heard the pin drop absolutely every time the man spoke, you know. It was amazing. You could have heard the pin drop, which was a bit of a shame because George McCluskey was in with hand grenades. That could have been dangerous, but no, you could have heard the pin drop. And but then at one point, I had got word at the start of the night that when he'd come up to sunny Lanarkshire today's thing at night at the Bellsall Hilton Hotel, that he had gone in during the day to the hospice to visit the late Fernando Rickson, you know. And so I thought, oh, that was pretty cool. What a good guy and all the rest of it. So I just happened to mention it during the Q&A. He was talking about some various Rangers players, and I said, Graeme, talking of Rangers greats, now I believe you did go and visit Fernando Rickson today, and wow, you'd never seen this side of Souness before. He was trying to talk, and he just paused for a minute, and you could see the eyes starting to well up at what he'd seen when he went to visit Fernando Rickson. It was a side of the guy I'd never ever seen. He couldn't speak for like a minute, you know, really, really emotional. And then with Jock Wallace, the lovely thing I always go back to, and I know you had Andy Ritchie on the programme a while back, he'll back me up on this, it was him that told me, that Jock Wallace, for all the guy, the jungle fighter, the guy who went to the Gullen Sands and made all the players retch, they were doing such hard physical exercise. Andy Ritchie, I remember telling us a few years ago that in the run-up to Christmas, when Jock Wallace was the Motherwell manager, 82-83, he got caught in the dressing room one night putting money into the Motherwell players' pockets. Any of the Motherwell players who weren't on a lot of money at that time had families run up to Christmas. This big hard man was caught sticking a wee tenner in their pockets just to get the kids something.
Well, we're
going to start greeting there.
I was going to say that's putting me right under pressure, isn't it, Durrant, for the end of the season, isn't it?
Exactly, right. All the boys have come in with their duffel coats on that day. But what is it? I'm coming in.
I was just about to say to you though, that typifies perception and reality. I always find it, I mean, it's just a strange thing, I'm not going to hide the fact that the one thing about your team, most of the guys, because of my friendship with them, there's a great bit of old firm banter, you know, one Rangers fan, Celtic fan, and the banter is sensational. But if you try and speak and relate to other people and say, you know, the perception you have of a certain person and the reality, it's unbelievable. I mean, we had it with Barry. I mean, the amount of people that would give him pelters walking down the street out here is incredible. But the perception of Jock, hard man, Souness, hard man, so far from the truth. I mean, it's great if you want to cultivate it when you're walking out onto a pitch.
Oh, honestly, the other side now, people don't see that. They see this persona now, which you got big Jock now. If you had a couple of personal problems and as kids you're growing up and you never talked to Jock would give you pelters for no telling, and he would try and sort it. He said, don't worry about now the other side of it now. I've got to be hard on you because that's what I've got to see, but see the other side of Tom now. He was incredible. As soon as again now, going back to now when Roughie brought me about my knee injury again, thanks Roughie. Soon as now there was no stone unturned for me to go and try and get my knee fixed. The other side now, and he kept in contact with mum and dad. My dad wasn't too ill at the time, and he was making sure, don't worry, we'll do our best to get his knee fixed. And now this other side, but then 2 minutes later, he was giving you pelters as now as usual, but it just flips.
Am I right later thinking you were you out for 3 years?
2 years, 6 months.
That's when we mentioned about your attitude, how strong psychologically do you have to be? Did it mould or change or alter your personality because you had to be strong?
You had to be now, because it was obviously the only thing I knew was playing football. But my whole perception, my whole life, totally changed when I went to Lillishall, which was like Colditz in the middle of Shropshire.
Yeah,
and they psychologically just battered me into get me playing again, because I'd virtually given up, because now I'd had a couple of attempts at trying to get back, and then I went now, as soon as through a friend in America, I went to America. But you're still seeing now, you're looking at your knee and you're going, it's not going to get any better and things. And then I went to Lillishall, which was run by ex-army men.
Yeah.
Who now, it's like, I swear to God, it was like the Navy SEALs, and they just shout and bawl at you. But then now they're working on your temperament, and then they got me back, and then they got me back playing. I'm terribly grateful doing there, because you were stuck, and it was like a dormitory now with people. Now I've seen, as I said, now I've seen worse things down there, and they're like jockeys and people. But it was just for sportsmen, for people in car crashes, and I'm thinking now, I'm feeling sorry for myself. By wee knee, I've got this jockey with now blood seeping out his leg, but he's got to get back on a horse. If he doesn't get back on a horse, he doesn't get paid. I've seen people without limbs now been in car crashes, just getting back in, and it was just an incredible place to be. And now you don't feel sorry for yourself when you're down there. You're quickly helping people, and see how now you find out now that the traumas they went through.
Yeah.
And it was nothing. I went through nothing compared to some of the people down there.
Yeah. And the one thing that, and here's a great line that Roughie often hears, but I'm going to use it on you. I'm not going to ask you to drop your trousers. Right, but the knee is incredible, because Barry Ferguson, we chat, and he said, I still get this image of Barry on your shoulders when he was a wee boy at Ibrox, obviously hoping he was going to one day be a Rangers player. But he said to me, your knee is the most unbelievable thing I've ever seen, and you'll obviously have to go and try and get it fixed. But do you think playing on got it to that point?
Of course, yeah. But I knew when we were told now arthritis, it comes to us all now at one point, but I knew that my knee was going to be heavily arthritic, and I'm feeling the pain just now. But again, it's just, you just got on with it.
Yeah.
I'll get it fixed now, hopefully nearer the summer, when it's actually better to get it fixed. So I'll get it fixed. But again, now that's just part and parcel. I knew at one point now, when the knee, I was going to have to get a knee reconstruction. So it's coming a wee bit earlier than I thought it would have been. Yeah.
Now here's my last one on the kind of a serious note on things, because
is it coming up with Christmas?
Yeah, I was just about to say, like, well, come on. No, the only thing I was going to say about it is, I wanted it to be a timeless show until Tam said, well, we did something back in March, so people started to think, okay, it's after March. And then he said, and we're heading to Christmas, and I thought, well, they definitely know the podcast is in November, December now. But the point I was going to make to you was, and you can do a Souness on me here on this question, believe me, because you've got such a positive attitude to it, how difficult is it to look back on that moment, and then between then and now, is it forgiveness? Is it forget? What's your mindset with the Neil Simpson?
You'll never forget it, but no, there is a level of forgiveness you'll get. But now it's in between it. There was a lot of dark days.
Yeah.
Now everybody, this persona, you fight through it. And there was a lot, but again, your life's your life. You've just got to go on with it. Now I was unfortunate. Now what people are saying now, I could have been or what should have been. Now it took me 2.5 years to get back playing, but it was the only thing I knew was playing football. And now it gave me the determination. And as I said, now through the great will of the club sending me to America, which was unknown at the time, and that got me a chance of back playing. But I went on to play for, I think, 10 more years after my injury, which is probably
amazing.
I probably now overstretched it, but as Tom earlier said, when you go to Kilmarnock, which I probably maybe should have done a year, but I ended up doing 3.5 years, played a lot more games than I thought I would have.
Yeah.
But when you're enjoying now people think now, they say, what about your football career now? And the memories, I wasn't even thinking about memories. I was just thought I was going out and having a laugh at times now.
Yeah.
Now when that's your job now, you're playing now, you're forgetting your create memories. You're actually just playing with your pals a game of football.
Yeah. Have you ever met Neil since?
Never.
Yeah. How do you think you'd react?
I think I think it'll be a standoff. I think it'll be a Clint Eastwood by a minute. No, I know. I hate to say about it now. I know he's suffered at times as well, but now I think the two have suffered and some more than others.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great. I admire your attitude on it, and on that point, you're talking about your mental strength, and you had a laugh. You also brought a lot of enjoyment. The banter in the dressing rooms. I mean, God Almighty. I don't think, was there anybody who was a shrinking violet in the dressing room? You're talking about Jock Wallace, and then you had Coop, then you had people coming through, then the Souness era. There was that many characters, it was unbelievable.
When you listen to Tommy and Stuart on a Saturday, you can see the camera they've got. Roughie will tell you that it's a harsh, the dressing room can be harsh, and if you don't handle it, I've seen good football players now crumble in dressing rooms and not going to now prolong their careers.
Could you name those names for us, Durant?
I remember a certain Jan Battram who couldn't handle Stolly Sensas couldn't handle it. Why do you shout at me? I goes, well, that's what we do in Scotland. That's what happens if we've got 50,000, if we're not doing our job now. And it was people that crumbled under now. Souness, big Jan Battram could not handle Souness at all. And that was now just part and parcel. Souness wanted us to play in an aggressive manner. Jan coming from Denmark, a bit horizontal, couldn't see that side of it, but I'm sure he learned and went on to play now. He prolonged his career in Denmark, but there was people in the dressing room that just couldn't handle now with the banter. It was now it can either make you or kill you.
And he scored an Old Firm goal as well.
Exactly, and it was the best days of your life. See the dressing room. I don't miss see the games.
Yeah,
I don't miss the game. I just miss getting on a Monday or Tuesday morning into the dressing room and getting to see the banter and the partner. That was the best days.
And the funny thing is, I can totally get why, for example, as you know, Coisty will play fives. We're playing a Wednesday and a Friday. I understand why he wants to prolong it, because nobody wants to leave the dressing room because you'll get slaughtered for your performance.
Exactly. When I come up and watches, and it's like handbags at 10 paces you're mobbing, but you can see now he's all want to play. But you can see that it's like a slow walk after the part. Who's going into the dressing room first?
That's him. No. He doesn't want to get at half time.
As Randy said, the dressing room's what it's all about. I mean, I know it sounds silly, but I mean, even half time. I mean, Rangers had a big dressing room, didn't you?
Oh, it's massive.
Yeah, and at Partick Thistle we had a massive dressing room. It just wouldn't run forever. 1, 2, 3 thing. I mean, when you used to come in. If somebody was getting it on that side of the dressing room, it was wee better just slaughtering people. You'd be sitting on the other side. I mean, you couldn't stop laughing at some of the stuff that was coming away with.
Tell Durant the story of Tony Higgins and Bertie.
Oh, Tony Higgins. Tony Higgins was having a nightmare. And wee Bertie always had his champions.
I know.
His European medal in his neck. And Tony was having a nightmare, and wee Bertie went up to him and said, "See you." He says, "You'll never, ever, ever get one of them." And he pulls it out, and Tony goes, "I'm not liable to get one here in Partick Thistle."
It's your worst nightmare. Is there one specific, you mentioned you live for it, is there one specific moment in a dressing room where you'll never forget it? You look, you go, "Oh, that was just great. I wish I could transport myself back."
It was when Souness went off him one. And do you remember the old dressing room, Roughie at Ibrox? This old telly, right, and they hadn't changed the telly for years, but I think it was basically getting held up now together with a bit of sticky tape, and Souness went to volley the telly, right, and his foot gets stuck in it. Right? So you're looking about, and you don't laugh, and he had these brilliant suede shoes for Italy, right? Now I'm talking serious Brammers. And then they cut, and they were all scratched, right, and see for about 5 minutes he wasn't even bothering what was the score or nothing was going to be scared out his shoe.
600 quid.
Oh, then he used to batter canisters and that about him. Oh, Donald Mackay just joined the club and came in my new suit and the old Gatorade thing. Souness has battered it. I'm right. Brand new suit, and and he was actually, I think he just done that to make sure, see if anybody was laughing. Oh, Jesus Christ, he was a madman.
My favourite Bertie one, I'm going to get this one out the road. Wee Bertie used to, way back then, remember, used to have the Subutio teams. Used to have, they all got things up on the wall now, but we had a Subutio board with the away team and the home team, and he'd come in at half time and he would start moving the wee Subutio players about. So he says to Pat Quinn, who was his assistant, "How do you think things are going in the first half, Pat?" And Pat went, "Well, don't think we're getting enough width on the left hand side. I think Bobby Houston's really, contributing enough to the team." And he leant forward and he went, Get off, Bobby. Just flicked this wee Samuel guy.
Brilliant. Now, here's the crux of the matter as far as the games are concerned. What's your favourite one pre and post then? Because you mentioned the fact that you'd played up until the injury. You know, you were flying, great. I mean, I look at you after in that Rangers side holding your own, and I look at you at Kilmarnock and I'm thinking, great games that you were involved in, super games. What ones stick in your mind?
Obviously, the 87 Cup final, my first one against Aberdeen, when I was fortunate enough to score the winning penalty. That was just one day. Everything clicked. Now my whole game clicked that day, and I get man of the match. But and I keep reflecting on Davie Cooper. Graeme Souness was saying I'll curl one in, and I just remember Coop saying, "Gonna get out the way, Robbo," and he hit this thing. It was like an exorcist missile.
Oh,
and we met. I know it's been documented. We met 2 weeks later with Scotland, the big Jim Leighton. Coop, I got my fingertips to it. Coop, now the great retort. No, I out. And that was just a day. Everything clicked. Now it was just at that time. It just seemed as if it was just fantastic finals all the time. Now it's 4-3, 3-2. Now Celtic, Aberdeen are now gone to penalties. Great games. And the downside was now my last game against Celtic when I probably shouldn't have played with Kilmarnock, and I just felt I let somebody down that day. Now obviously the boy never played, and I played now with a knee injury. In hindsight, I shouldn't have played because I had to come off after half an hour.
yeah.
And
Were you under pressure to play, or did you?
no, I trained for 3 weeks up into it, and wee Bobby asked me, and now at that time I goes, well, I'm not going to get another crack at it. But that later that night I would reflect on it, going, I've probably done somebody out of game in a cup final, which now I feel a bit harsh about it, right enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's a strange thing actually. If it's a cup final, Tam, you just want to be there. I mean, he's talking about Coop. You're just sitting there salivating.
Oh, guys,
you loved him.
I absolutely loved him. The easily the best footballer I've ever seen in a Motherwell jersey.
What age
And
did he come? Was it
well,
33?
he came in the summer of 1989. And I think he was about maybe 32, 33, and we got a great, and I stress a great, maybe 2.5, 2 3/4 years out of him.
Yeah.
And then it was amazing. And what was great when he first arrived, because we already had brought in Bobby Russell in 1986.
Yep.
So for us joyous spell, we had both Cooper and Bobby Russell in the midfield. And it was just like, it undoubtedly attracted bigger crowds to Fir Park. And then there was one joyous moment it'd been October, end of October 1989, a 1-2 between Russell and Cooper. We got a 1-0 win against Rangers midweek, and we went top of the league. And to see that league table the next day, that is Motherwell
If that was
fans.
Coop, I gave everybody pelters at you.
Unbelievable.
I remember the game, and now Coop was loving it. Now obviously he's playing from out of time, but I remember he did, and he stuck in the bottom corner by Big Woodsy. But again, now you wouldn't have believe what Souness tried to do to keep him to stay at the club.
Is that right?
Aye, but Coop just wanted to play, and he had a great relationship with Tom McLean. And he was getting to that time now. You get that bit in your career, but you can flit out and pick up a good wage. But Coop just wanted to play, wanted to offer something. And I actually forgot. Did we also play in the cup final?
No.
No.
He was injured, Bobby. But no, the great thing with Davie Cooper as well, who else would have been delighted, apart from the Motherwell fans, that he came to Fir Park, would have been the bookies at Hamilton Racing and the proprietors of the Santa Lucia restaurant.
That was it.
Because I believe it was a 50 grand transfer fee it was involved, but for everything he'd done at the club at Rangers, I believe that Davie just got the money in his skyrocket as a wee thank you, and that was terrific. But I argue, and I would even do it in front of Ian Durrant here, I don't mean this facetiously, I don't mean to, as if I'm trying to wind up any Rangers fans, but because of the nature of the beast, and I do argue that Davie Cooper was arguably an even better player at Motherwell than he was at Rangers, simply because there was no pressure on him at Motherwell. He came and he wasn't played as an out winger. A lot of the time he would play what you'd maybe called the number 10 or the inside left or whatever.
Yeah.
A roving commission, maybe, as Jock Brown used to always famously say. And I think that brought the best out of him. And if you want to know his legacy as such at Fir Park, if you asked Tommy Boyd, who he turned him into an international player. If you could have been able to ask the late great Phil O'Donnell, he'd be the first to talk up Davie Cooper, what he did for him, and I think primarily we Dougie Arnott. The amount of times a wee kind of reverse slide rule pass for Davie Cooper on the blind side just left defences for dead. Wee Dougie would nick in, bang. It was sensational. He was just an absolute genius.
Yeah, it's amazing how someone can pass through everybody's life, actually, because when I was a kid, when I was at high school, I used to DJ, and he had a sports club in Motherwell where they played badminton or squash.
Coop loved his squash.
Yes, and they'd have every couple of months, they'd have a night in the old Mill Hotel.
Yeah.
And I used to be the DJ for him. And he used to come in and he'd give us the wedge for the DJing, and then he'd give me 20 quid.
Oh, cool.
And he'd be like, he'd say, there's 20 quid for you. And I was looking, and everybody was in awe of him, and I'm looking, I'm thinking, God, 20 quid in those days, you could buy an entire strip, Durant, you know what I mean?
Oh.
But he was great, and then years later, you just think, God, you just come into contact with people and meet them in a different.
Souness identified early doors. Now, when Souness came in, now there was only certain players that stayed, and he was working the Coop obviously in Scotland. But as Tom said, there now Boyd and Phil O'Donnell on that, the Coop would come in and just raise the training, raise the profile of the club, and now he even though he used to set standards, Coop, now in terms of now your training, and now fantastic player, but what a trainer! Now he never missed a day of training. And that just showed now, that reflected on how far now and how long he played in his career. Yeah, great wand of a left foot. I've got to ask you this. You mentioned the word gallus at the start of us having a banter. If you think about your dressing room, if you thought you were funny and Coisty thought he was funny, what must it have been like when Gazza arrived? Oh, chaos. Just your whole dressing room just went upside down. It was he was a fantastic character, and your worst nightmare if you were injured, because your clothes, your cars, everything, you name it, would just get destroyed. The time he turned up with a nail gun, he's injured and he's nailed everybody's stuff to the flare, to the ceilings. Now, Alec Cleland's gear was in the corner for 3 weeks. He couldn't get, it was that far up. He was just now infectious, loved his fishing, but just a fantastic football player. But he was the wee bits now you go in the dressing room, because you were always wanting to go in and see what he was up to. And he was a genius at picking up things. Now, remembering things. Now, the one about Coisty, now he's talking to his ex-missus or the missus, and she's forgot her keys. He said, the spare keys, blah, blah, blah. 4 nights later, Coisty hears somebody in the room, goes down with the 3-hour, and there's Gascoigne sitting in the kitchen. What are you doing? He goes, I've no bread and milk, but I remember you saying your missus bumped the keys, so I come in. Big Mark Catley now went on about his this whiskey collection. Gazza turns up at the Halloween party with a flask of tea, sipping the whiskey, topping up with the tea. Big Mark, I don't know still to these days if he realised now his whiskey collection's worth nothing now it's full of tea. Just these things he picked up, but just on the park now, incredible. But and you look at I think his life is parallel with yours. You think about mad. Well, not mad, yeah, but you think about, there was a moment I think he was world class. Oh, definitely. And then the World Cup, he was sensational. 1990, he's world class. He could waltz into any team, and then you just look, and there's that defining line after he works his way back, strength of character into Lazio, and then eventually somehow manages. He's at Rangers, and probably he's on record saying that probably his best time in his career. Now, up until then, I think the only thing Gascoigne had won was probably the FA Cup medal, which he get taken off. Remember the reckless challenge, but he came up and. But now he was crazy, but nobody was now suffering him or suffocating him. Sorry. Yeah. Now he just got on now. As long as you turn up on a Saturday, now I'll create the madness here. This genius, but how do you cope with a genius? Just like the genius be the genius. Now he turned up. You know what that reminds me of? You just actually got it in my head. Was Walter, who we had in the studio, Roughie, actually was walking down Buchanan Street and ran into Billy Connolly. That's what the gaffer told us. Yeah, it was a great story, isn't it? And Billy Connolly, and he's saying, how you getting on with Gascoigne? And he says, he's a genius. And he says, I just don't know how to handle him. And he said, well, the great thing about a genius is you have to learn to accommodate the genius, because he won't accommodate you.
And I thought that's just a great way to look at it, Roughie, isn't it? When you have players like that. I was just wondering if you were talking about all the guys who are mad and crazy and have got a great personality, how in the hell do you have the most straight-laced Brian Laudrup sitting in the corner?
Oh, Laudrup he liked a wee night out.
Did he?
Aye, now
Yeah.
he's everybody see all the squeaky clean. No, he liked a wee night out, wee bottle of Miller, but at times he didn't understand what was going on, because he used to have this competition after training. It's just crazy. Now you had all training grounds, you're caked in mud. But Coisty would go at the end of the big restroom and put a cup of water. And all the boys now would roll up the soaks and try and hit. And there you get Brian Laudrup, right, rolling up a soak, try to hit Coisty in the head. Right. Next minute we'd a foam bath. Now remember the big baths at Ibrox? So with the big baths, and sometimes we just let the foam come out and the tiles, and we'd all scoot along in tails. And there's Brian Laudrup all up naked, right along in tails, and just to see how it was a tether head to see how far we could go to the dressing room. So there's back now.
Intercepted by Jim White jumping out the ceiling.
Aye, right.
Gotcha!
And so you get involved, and now you had the quiet persona of the family man. But now when it was time to enjoy yourself, now we certainly let our hair down.
I just have this vision now. It's a dangerous thing to do, Roughie. Slide along and there's no no foam left.
Honestly, Peter, no, you had the sort of the thing. Then you go out the door, but the door was now, so you had to judge it.
He's, even better than that, he still looks good. He's aged well, hasn't he?
Oh, great! And now he's
Not Richard Gough. I saw him recently. He was doing something in the media, 57.
Yeah.
And he was sat there with a pair of skinny breeks on and all that. It looked amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's over. I think he's over for the weekend.
Yeah.
Oh.
Good lad, Gough. He's just mental, you know.
For
He's
10 minutes, then you're
then you're bored. That reminds me of Macca used to say that he'd finished playing for they'd finished the Scotland game, and he said Big Roy wanted to talk about the game, and Macca's like, custard pie,
taxi for the tunnel.
Exactly. That was mental. Listen, lots of things that spring to mind apart on the park. Was there a player that you would, when you played against, or that you thought, oh, I'd love to have played with him? Was there someone that sticks in your mind that you think, oh,
I'd have loved to have played with Souness a bit earlier
yeah,
in his career. Now, obviously, the big man to my left here played it. I just thought when we got up, and he was starting to feel the effects of now where he'd been now with Liverpool and Sampdoria. And if we'd have got maybe 3 years, I think now that'd have been a proper education. I treasured the time I got with him.
yeah,
I'd have loved to now if we got him at 30 in his prime, see how good he was. But again, I lived the dream, as I said. I told you in the wee story. My favourite growing up was Kenny Dalglish, and I was just coming back from a knee injury, and I get the chance now. Dalglish was in town and just bobbed along to Troon Juniors. Now the weather, and there I go. I get the chance to play with Dalglish in a bounce game at Troon Juniors, and I was just annoyed, man. And I remember Souness saying, if I've got the ball, get out the line of the path of the ball, because it's going into Dalglish and you can get the second one. And the two of them were just playing about, and it was incredible now to think now, 12 years earlier, these two were just ruling Europe and England.
that's amazing, isn't it, Roughie? I mean, you were so lucky. You're so lucky.
Yes.
He just sits there, and do you know what he does, by the way? He sits there, Tam and I will sit and we'll graft like anything, thinking about wee lines and wee stories and wee things we can down, and then he'll just sit there, glake it, listening to you, and then he'll go, did I ever tell you about Souness and Dalglish, blah, 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 and you're like, no, you didn't.
Well, that's why the big man, he's the World Cups, and now he touched on a few of them. Now, Bertie Old, I've heard some great stories that would have been a dressing room. Oh, wee Bertie in full flow.
Yeah, you twitched though, because obviously could have get his big move, but Bertie held on to him, because he was
I stay out wee Bertie's road at dinners. Every dinner I go to, he'll have a few drinks and he'll go, I could have sold you Man City, but could have sold you here, sold you there.
You know what he said to me a couple of weeks ago, Durant? He was standing there and he says, how's Roughie, right? And I know what it's like, because the first time I said, I'm bringing Bertie onto the show, and I could see him twitching, right, because he's obviously still holding that he didn't get his big move. But I said to him a couple of weeks ago, I said, Bertie, Roughie's doing okay. I says, but did you really stop him going to Man City in Middlesbrough? And he just looked at me, his chin out, his teeth. He says, I did. He says, but the reason why, he says, I thought he could have gone on to play for Liverpool. He says, so I didn't let him move to Man City. Your whole life would have changed, Roughie.
Well, there wasn't many goalkeepers getting into England then, because we were always getting pelters after Scotland-England games, so it'd have been he would have been a bit gas to get in there, because there was nobody sort of Jim Stewart went in.
Yeah.
Jim Stewart, I told you that. I was supposed to get into Middlesbrough, went away the home internationals Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, and Middlesbrough phoned me before I left and they said, when you come back after the England game, you'll be a Middlesbrough player. So he said, just go away and enjoy yourself. So I went away and I turned up for the Scotland-England game at Hampden, and I walked through the door 1:30, just an hour and a half obviously before the game, and Alec Cameron come up to me and he went, oh, you must be gutted. I says, what are you talking about? He says, Middlesbrough have just signed Jim Stewart. And I said, could you not wait it after the game? just an hour and a half before I go.
Put you on a downer.
Aye,
Yeah.
I saw him a few weeks ago. Bertie Aldi was my wee girl was lucky enough. She went through the auditions via the UK Theatre School for that Celtic advert that's staying around now. The Celtic Christmas advert. John McLaughlin's done the song for that.
Yeah.
All the players taking part, and Neil Lennon and all the rest of it. And so we went into of course, my wee girl getting picked for the Celtic advert. It was social media was full of kind good wishes to me, Peter and I. But there you go, they couldn't see past the fact that we were celebrating that she'd had a successful audition and would have done any gig, you know. But anyhow, we went in, and wee Bertie was in the advert as well. It was all filmed at the Mitchell Theatre in Glasgow. And when we were just about to start the film, and I saw Bertie down at the front, and I'm there as the chaperone the day for our Sophie, and I just went down. I hadn't seen Bertie for a wee while, and I says, oh, how you doing? Oh, Tam, how you doing? Yourself? I says, oh, my wee lassies, and he just like says, aye, you were due some talent in that family.
Bang. There you go. Before you go, Old Firm games, you must have enjoyed them. You must have on many an occasion risen to the occasion. Was there a particular bit of banter or somebody that you played against that you love playing against?
Oh, me and Grant used to living daylights to each other, and that was just part of that. You knew it was coming, and after it we'd have a pint. But that was good games. Now they're great. Now there's myself, Derek Souness against McStay, Grant, Tommy Burns, Murdo McLeod. Now great games. Big Roy up against Coisty, Butcher up against Wee Mo and McAvenny. The banter on the pitch now. Then you could have now all the obscenities you could now call them what you wanted. But after the game, it was a good laugh. But that's all it was.
Did you play in the 4-4?
That was the best game. That was one of the highlights. Now after the game, it's the only time I've ever seen Rangers and Celtic players in the middle of the park shaking hands with each other. Usually now you're away, and now you look round and now the Rangers in the Celtic and they're up now. Stand now, clapping us off. But again, me Murdo rattled down one for about 110 yards, I think. You make it 4 each.
It gets further and further out, I can tell you.
Oh, no,
why did Coisty kiss his boot that day?
I don't know. I know, it just... it showed you, then it showed you Shuey Burns getting up as if he's saying something, and he's shoving away and all that, and then he just done it. He was a bit mad then, Coisty, now with celebrations now. It was just... I don't think he knew what he was going to be doing next, so I just think he just made something up and just that's what it went. But it was,
Ted McMahon.
Oh, the Tin Man was another man. He was a character. Nobody knew what he was doing with the ball, and he didn't know what he was doing with the ball.
Yeah.
So when he went on a run, it was just like, let's try and get into the box and see if he... And he would never cross it. And Coisty used to give him pelters, honestly, because Coisty would make 3 runs and Tebby come back, beat him
back out.
then he'd foil the ball.
Are you a keeper of strips? I mean, I love the memorabilia part of it.
My boy's got them in the house. I've
good.
got bundles in the house.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for one, I can look one out. But there's my boy's got their in. I know, I hate saying it.
I wasn't on the cards. I wanted to know that your favourite one, because
I've got a signed Del Piero top.
Oh, magic!
We played them.
Was that the 4-0 game?
I was fortunate enough to get near him in Italy during the warm up. Then I put wee Alec Cleland on him, and I fortunate enough, and I just asked him out, and I met him in the tunnel. Yeah. Then when we were going up, I met him again, came out, and I asked him to sign it, and then he signed it for us.
Was that the 4-0 game?
That was a 4-1 game. 4-1. I thought at one point there was a wee Italian electrician abseiling for the scoreboard that was going to blow up at one point. Because now you get to the 25-minute mark. They were doing well. Then after 29 minutes, we're 4-0 down.
Oh, they were unbelievable.
They were incredible. They were a great team.
Is that the best team you faced?
probably the Red Star Belgrade team were sensational.
Oh, was it Prozinecki in it?
Prosinecki, Parko, Danche,
I know the boy. Panchev, yeah.
Panchev. They sort of at that time the 8 9 of the Yugoslavian team. Now they're incredible.
Yeah.
And that was another one of Graham's good ideas. We went to play them with 2 wingers, and
You get battered.
Oh, they went in another gear.
Do you know what I remember about them? They're fans.
They were in 3 hours before the game.
Yeah.
And it was incredible.
And the police didn't decide when they left, Tam. The fans decided who was in their end, and the fans decided who left. I'll never forget that night. It was unbelievable. Anyway, I digress. We could talk forever on your things. If there was one person in the world you'd like to meet that you haven't met already, who would it be?
It'd be Maradona. I was talking to you now about the documentary. I watched the documentary. And he was now just, when I was growing up, one of now the favourite players. I still have an argument with Walter. He says Pelé, but I'm a Maradona fan.
I like Walter. I really like Walter. He knows what he's talking about.
I know.
I like Maradona. He's top drawer. Who would you like to meet? Doesn't necessarily need to be a footballer, Tam.
Prince Andrew. No, wait a minute.
I called a year ago.
I've already met him. I have not. I have no recollection of meeting him.
Roughie.
It'd have to be Sharon Stone, and I'd have to have her sitting in front of me.
You're so one-dimensional.
on a seat.
Ferry's got me thinking. I thought it was a football show. I'm a Roughie.
2 for Sharon Stone. I'll go for Paul McCartney. Is that lame? It's lame.
No, that's a great shout.
Paul McCartney would be the bee's knees.
Just saw him a year ago at the Hydro, and he must have played about 13 different instruments on stage. He was absolutely magnificent. What a talent.
I saw him at Hampden, Durrant, and he said, and I'd like to sing you this song. I hope you remember it, right? And he went through that and he said the same thing 300 times.
Oh.
And I could still think of another 300 that he didn't sing. He was unbelievable. One of the best concerts ever. Just I mentioned that because obviously Coisty loves Springsteen. Is there a pop star that you love?
Unfortunately, but at Coisty, I liked AC/DC, and Coisty got his backstage to meet the boys now.
Oh, did you before some of them passed away?
And what a show they put on.
Oh,
and
they were brilliant.
You listen to their songs, but see them live, jeez, or what then? And the next minute I looked down in the audience, bobbing away to now Hell's Bells. So it was great. It was a great night.
Was that at Hampden?
That was at Hampden.
Great.
And I've met a few of the boys, but that was a great night. AC/DC.
Fantastic. Anyway, I know Roughie likes The Bachelor, so there's no point in asking him anymore. It's great on this podcast getting Ian Durrant in the studio. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. You can listen to it across all the platforms week in, week out. We'll bring you special guests, go back over their career, have a wee bit of chat about other zany things as well. Thanks to Roughie, thanks to Tam Cowan, and more importantly, thanks to Ian Durrant. If you actually want to view the podcast, you can on PLZ Soccer's YouTube channel. Until the next time, thanks for being with us.